Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar of SEMrush 101 on this Super Bowl Monday. So thank you for waking up today. SEMrush is located in the Philadelphia area, so a lot of celebrating going on near me, but we are here to launch 101 for you here today. So thanks for joining. My name is John. I'll be your webinar host, and I just want to give about a minute here to see if we get any registered participants. It looks like the registration is light to this point, so we're going to give it a minute here to see if we have additional attendees joining us. Okay, I'm anticipating a potential webinar glitch in the event in which nobody got the proper link for today's webinar. So if I do have attendees, I'm going to put my email here in the chat box for SEMrush. This way you can get in touch with me and we can regroup and certainly offer you a personalized demo. This looks like it may have been a glitch on behalf of SEMrush. So I want to make sure that you have the resources you need to reconnect with us, and we will give you the time necessary to make sure you're successful with our product. If I do have any attendees in the webinar, please use the chat. I'm going to stick around for 2 more minutes and see if we got this live. Okay, folks, I do see a few registrants trickling into the webinar, so I'm going to assume that we did get it up and we're going to be able to go live here with some registered guests. So I will proceed with today's webinar. I do apologize for the late start here. And if I failed to convey the proper information or get you in the right webinar today, I will absolutely regroup with you. Please note that my email is in the chat box of SEMrush. So if you need to reach out, if you had problems with joining today's webinar, I'll make sure to reconnect with you and offer a more personalized demo. So without further ado, let's get started here with today's webinar. I'm going to get going, and we are looking at SEMrush. So I did have a couple questions in advance of today's webinar about SEMrush that I thought would act as a very productive introduction. So the first question was, do I need to hire a full-time employee or be dedicated full-time to SEMrush? And the answer is not necessarily. What you have to determine is, are you dedicating part-time or full-time work to your digital marketing efforts? And in turn, SEMrush will assist in those efforts. And if used properly, will likely save you time on your SEO and SEO work that you would be doing. And the second question was, do marketing agencies and do independent SEOs use a tool like SEMrush to garner insights and make assumptions? And that's exactly what we do. We don't do SEO for you, but we are an SEO research and insights tool that will make doing SEO and SEM a bit easier for you. If you're doing things right the first time, you'll find that utilizing a platform like this will ultimately save you a lot of time in your marketing efforts and hopefully show greater effectiveness. So I just wanted to kick off with an answer to those preliminary questions I did receive. If you need further clarification, please utilize the chat box that is available on the YouTube page. That being said, we'll get started here. And for today's demo, I'm going to use a software company, redhat.com. I'm going to kick off in domain analytics. This is where you do a lot of your competitive research with SEMrush and understand what your competition ranks for and how they've kind of gotten to where they got today with their web traffic. So here for redhat.com, we see that they have a presence, and this is a software company, just to be clear here. We see that they have a presence in organic research, and they drive about 400,000 sessions to their site every month via organic traffic. They do also dabble with Google CPC campaigns to do paid Google AdWords, backlinks portfolio, which we will touch on, and even display advertising via the Google Display Network could be used, and data can be leveraged within SEMrush to understand how your competition is doing display advertising. So we are in our US database desktop view in live data, and I'll point out a couple of those different options throughout the webinar. So here for redhat.com, we're looking at the organic research positions report. This positions report is simply going to show you every keyword that a given domain ranks for nationally in the database that you're within. So in the US database, they rank nationally for 413,000 keywords, which would be available in this report. Also, we estimate via these 413,000 keywords, they're getting about 423,000 sessions to their site a month. So you can tell how the keywords, the amount of keywords they rank for align with the sessions, as well as just the value of their organic traffic. This traffic cost metric is not an estimation of their Google AdWords, but rather to help you understand what is the value of obtaining these 423 sessions via these keywords. If you were to pay for this traffic, that's about how much it would cost. Here on the traffic map, you'll see how their traffic has gained or lost traffic over time. So that's where the historical data can be very effective. You might want to understand what keywords maybe have fallen that contributed to a significant loss in traffic in July 2017. You can always go back in time to July 2017 and get an understanding of what you ranked for then and how that data may have been different than how you rank today. Okay, and the data itself. So on the organic positions report, you'll see the keyword that ranks. In this case, we see, let's get away from the branded keywords and we'll look at the keyword automation. So redhat.com ranks 9th. The previous update of this keyword was, the most recent was 2 days ago. And you'll see that they ranked 21st in the previous update. So that number in parentheses will give you an idea as to where do you rank today in the blue number versus where you ranked the last time we updated this keyword. So significant improvement here for redhat.com on the keyword automation. This keyword is searched on average about 49,500 times per month, as evidenced by our volume metric. This is a monthly estimate for how much a keyword will be searched in Google. Keyword difficulty, another organic metric. From 0 to 100, you could measure keyword difficulty. The closer to 100, the more difficult you can expect it to be to rank for this keyword. So if it's like keyword Amazon Prime, probably a 96 keyword difficulty. It's going to be very high. Reason being is because are you going to outrank Amazon for Amazon Prime? And likely you're not. Also, some other very high authoritative or other Amazon domains will rank there, which will contribute to a greater keyword difficulty, meaning that you're going to have a harder time unseating the top 20 URLs. So if the keyword difficulty is closer to 0, you're going to represent a keyword here that maybe is untapped. Maybe nobody has answered that search query, and it'd be a bit easier to find yourself ranking in a more quick fashion for a particular keyword. So if you have any questions on keyword difficulty or need greater clarity, please utilize the chat box to ask. Okay, CPC is next. This is a Google AdWords metric, but is included on this report. This is the national average cost per click expectation. If you were to run an ad on this keyword, this is the average cost per click you would expect to pay for any of the respective keywords you see on this list. The URL is going to show you the page that ranks for the given keyword search. So Red Hat, they rank their homepage, the Red Hat English page. Whereas Red Hat Linux, it looks like there is a separate URL ranking first for this term. So the URL will show you exactly what page is ranking in the position we are noting. If you see multiple keywords on this list, redundancies on this list, in which you see the same keyword twice, you'll notice that the URL will be different and they'd be ranking that keyword for multiple URLs. Okay, traffic percentage. Traffic percentage is the blue highlighted metric here, and this report is initially filtered by this metric, which will tell you of these 423,000 sessions we are estimating, what percentage of them are coming from a particular keyword and URL. So about 14% of their total site traffic is coming from, their total organic traffic is coming from the Red Hat keyword. Okay, before I move off this report, this is the SERP button. You can select this button and see exactly the data we cached when we were reporting. So if you export this data, you will see the Unix timestamp, which will tell you exactly when we crawled and updated this data. So we'll always show you the data we're reporting. And the last update column will tell you when this keyword was most recently updated. No keyword in our database. There are about 140 million keywords in our US database. None of these keywords will ever go more than 30 days without being updated. So if you ever see the last update column will tell you when it was most recently updated. Here in December 2017, these keywords will be updated very shortly unless they were for some reason no longer in our database. Okay, position changes is next. The position changes report is a way to keep track of what's moving and shaking in search results. So every time a keyword is updated, if a URL has moved positions, it will show in this report. So let me slow this down. This is the new report. The new report will show you URLs that are now ranking for the respective keyword you see on this list. So you might say, well, they already ranked for the keyword yum, and maybe they did. However, what this report is showing you that this new URL is now ranking in the top 100 positions for this keyword in position 6. So the new report will show you keywords, or I'm sorry, URLs that were previously not ranking in the top 100 positions for a keyword, and today are, per their last update. The lost column will show you the exact opposite. These are URLs that formerly did rank for the respective keyword in the top 100 positions, but no longer do. Improved will show you keywords within the top 100 moving up, and declined will show you keywords within the top 100 positions that are moving down. So good idea of, position changes here. Of course, it's called the position changes report. However, I will show you a rank tracker a little bit later on in the webinar that will update specific keywords, whatever keyword you want to track every day for you, so that you don't have to wait until a keyword update is processed to get this information. Our rank tracker will update keywords every day. So I'll be sure to point that out. Okay, a couple more organic reports, and then we'll move on to some paid stuff and backlinks. And the pages report is next. The pages report will simply show you every URL that you have on your domain. And it's broken down by the URLs that are driving the most traffic to your site first. So here on this report, we see the Red Hat, of course, homepage doing about 19% of their total site traffic. You see this particular page coming in second with about 3% of their site traffic. And you can get an idea as to what URLs are producing site traffic versus URLs that really aren't being found and utilized within Google Organic Search. So every URL will show you exactly how many keywords rank for that page as well. So let's just take this example one here, and it produced about 0.39% of their site traffic and ranks for 224 keywords. I can select that number of keywords and then be filtered to a URL report. So this looks like the positions report I kicked off with. If you ever want to size up a single page rather than a root domain, you can always copy and paste the URL right here in the tool, and you'll be routed to our URL report, which will show you the keywords that rank specifically for a particular page of interest. So you see on this page, 224 keywords rank, and here are all the keywords that rank for this page. You can quickly get an idea here as to what keywords might produce. And in the case of system administrator keyword here that they rank 29th, high value keywords that maybe do not produce traffic for this page. But at least you know that it's already ranking, and you can further optimize that keyword to hopefully start producing some traffic for you. Okay, from organic research, I'm going to jump over to Google paid research. I'm sorry, Google AdWords. I don't know why I'm stumbling over that today. And we'll also then jump to backlinks and then into keyword research before moving on. So the advertising research positions report. This is going to show you the keywords that they are using specifically in Google AdWords. These are not just any keyword they rank for, but keywords they are ranking ads for. As you can see with Red Hat here, currently they're using about 11,000 keywords. In the past, it looks like they've really leveraged CPC a little bit more. But as of today, 11,000 keywords to produce about 27,000 sessions. This is an estimated traffic cost of about $133,000 a month. So definitely not child's play here. This is a lot to spend on Google AdWords campaigns. However, they are ranked for about 11,000 keywords to produce over 27,000 sessions to their site a month. That does come at a cost as estimated here. Okay, so the keywords too. The differences in this report are going to be the ad itself. You can see the ad that they're running for the keyword that's being addressed. So the keyword is API, and the ad is shown here. Also, you'll see a block column. The block will tell you whether this ad is triggering on top of the organic search results or on the bottom. So the one I'm hovering over says bottom, which means that this Google AdWords campaign in the second position here shows up after the organic search results. So to me, that's about position 11 when you're sizing up a search results page. Okay, CPC again, $12.69 for this particular keyword. The CPC is the national average expectation as what will you pay for a given click on this ad. And then also competitive density. So this is a low competitive density score of 0.01. This is where I'm hovering my mouse over. And this competitive density metric will give you an idea as to how competitive a landscape might be, the ad landscape might be for an ad on the keyword API. And this could have to do with a lot of people spending a lot of money. It could have to do with nobody really advertising on a term. So this is a 0 to 1 metric. The closer to 1, the more competitive the landscape for a keyword will be. So let's take the keyword API, and we'll run it through an ads history report here in a minute. This way we can get an idea as to what is the competitive landscape for a particular keyword and what am I getting myself into if I choose to advertise on the keyword API. So we're going to run the API through the Keyword Analytics Ads History Report. And here we see a little more competitive than I thought. We do see a list of domains that are advertising actively on the Keyword API. So ca.com, this is their ad. They rank in position 7 as evidenced in the number in the blue box. Here are the other websites that are also advertising for API, like smarter.com, this is their ad. And here's Pet Supplies for Less. I wonder why they're doing that, but they're advertising here, and here's their ad, as well as the history of anybody else who's advertised. So these domains at the bottom may not be advertising today for the Keyword API, but they have advertised for this keyword in the past. And you can see their presence previously over the last year for this ad as well. Okay, jumping back quickly to domain analytics, I'm going to load the ads copies report. And the ads copies report I really like. If you're looking at I do have a question coming through. I'm sorry, I'll answer that in 1 second. If you're looking at Google AdWords campaigns, it's a great report to look at here and understand, well, what do these ads look like and what keywords are responsible for these ads? And that's where the ad copies report comes in. So here's every ad copy that redhat.com is currently running, as well as the keywords that are responsible for each of these. So it is sorted by number of keywords in descending order. So the most keywords allocated to a single ad will show first. And you can drill in and see what are the 340 keywords that are contributing to this particular ad and making this ad show up in Google search results. So if you decided I don't want to compete with Red Hat for this ad, you might want to exclude some of these keywords. If you decide that you want to compete maybe second or third position to Red Hat, these are keywords that you might want to use and underbid them a little bit. So the ads copies report will really give you a good idea as to what does the ad landscape look for a particular competitor. Okay, the question I got is, can we sort first as volume and then CPC with respect to volume? So you can only, of course, apply one filter at a time. You can filter in descending order or descending order from keyword search volume, or you could also, and let's jump back to a report in which we can do this, or you can also filter by CPC. But to combine both, you can use our advanced filters, which I should have already pointed out. So great question, Gaurav. The advanced filters will allow you to set multiple applications so that the data cuts down to exactly what you're looking for. So let's say we need to make sure that the volume is at least 100 searches per month, and we'll do greater than 100. And we're not willing to pay any more than 15 bucks for a CPC. So what we can do is exclude, or we can do CPC less than 1501. And when I run this filter now, we're going to look at keywords that are greater than, let's do 1,000 just to cut the data down a little bit. Let's do 25,000 actually. 25,000 keywords or searches or more with a CPC of less than 15 bucks. Let's see if we get any results here. Point is, to answer your question, Gaurav, you can apply multiple filters at a time to make sure that the data will align with particular data you might be looking for. So a few keywords here did fit that parameter. And now I can kind of weed through all the other stuff and get that out of the way and look at data that specifically I have some interest in uncovering. Okay. This is the ads history report, and then we'll move out of ads here to backlinks. So this is the ads history report. Now, I just referenced an ads history report under keyword analytics. However, this is our ads history report under domain analytics. I agree that we could probably change the name of one of these. However, this is a domain ad history, so we're looking at redhat.com and the history of all the keywords they've used over the past year for a given campaign. So rather than sizing this up from a keywords perspective, now we're looking at the domain itself and saying, well, what are the keywords that they're always using in paid ads? So you can find some similarities here. This particular JBoss keyword, they've ranked first, they've ranked second, they fell down, and then they moved back up. So this is an ad they have an interest in continuously running. They probably changed the ad a little bit to get back to the top of the rankings, and you can see that they have. But again, a keyword that they're always going to be advertising on. If you get further into this report, you'll see this coverage percentage come down, meaning that these are keywords that they're using less frequently or maybe seasonally, and you'll get a good idea as to when they are taking ads up and what months they're putting ads back up or taking them down, to get a good idea as to where they're playing the game and for what keywords they're regularly using versus keywords that they might be using seasonally or more strategically in that regard. Okay, so from advertising research, I'm jumping to our backlinks domain analytics database. So our backlinks database here is going to, of course, give you an idea as to all of the referral traffic that a given domain may be obtaining from other websites, right? Very important part of SEO to have a lot of good referring backlinks to your site. So for redhat.com here, we see 16.7 million, an increase of over 4 million over the last 30 days. So we did find a lot more backlinks this round, and they only lost about 500,000. They have 50,000 unique referring domains, meaning 50,000 unique websites are responsible for these 16 million links. And they have a domain and trust score of 61 and 65. And I'll point that out. I think these are good indications of, are you ready to outrank your competition? So the domain score metric, this works very similarly to Google's PageRank. It's calculated in the same way as Google PageRank to give you an idea of domain authority. Whereas trust score is a measure of the quality of the referring domains. So now we're looking at what 50,000 referring domains are responsible for this traffic, and of what quality are they? If they're very low quality, your trust score will come down, meaning that in Google's eyes, they're not seeing a lot of really quality domains, giving you the thumbs up for this traffic. Whereas very high quality websites can positively benefit your trust score, websites like LinkedIn or Google or Huffington Post. If those websites are referencing traffic to your site, it's going to increase your trust with Google. So this domain and trust score metric can be a very good idea for you in helping you understand, are you in a position to outrank your competition? Because you can very easily compare against your competition for these types of scores. So let's do Zendesk.com versus Red Hat. And here we have a comparison of domain and trust score for each, and really can see who's got more backlinks, who's got more referencing domains, etc. So all of that data is in these tabs. You can select the backlinks tab to see the backlinks, referring domains to see the responsible websites. My favorite report here is the referring domains comparison report. So this is a backlink gap report, meaning that if you're redhat.com and you want to see, well, what backlinks do my competitors get that I do not, you can use this gap analysis report for both keywords or backlinks, which I'll show you. So the root domain here is Red Hat. So let's select Red Hat. And what we're asking the report to deliver is all of the domains, the referring domains that link traffic to Zendesk that do not link traffic to redhat.com. This way you can get an idea with this report to say, well, what is it that my competitors are doing, or what backlinks have my competitors earned that I have not? And this is the report to do so. And you'll get a really good idea of high quality links that maybe you can pursue for yourself. You can select this number 12 here or any of these other numbers and see the exact 12 links that paypal.com is structuring to Zendesk.com. So a really good referral report to kind of get yourself started and see where your competition is earning links that you do not have. We're going to pivot over to keyword gap analytics now too. So same concept here. What do I share, or what's different amongst my competition? So for Red Hat versus Zendesk here, we want to see common keywords. Common keywords are, of course, keywords that both of these domains rank in the top 100 positions for. And that list will populate. Now, again, I do apply filters to this too. Maybe you don't want to see, I don't care if I rank 90th and they rank 10th. There's more work to be done regardless. So let's do this as well. Let's include a position filter for Zendesk to be less than 21. And we'll do the same thing for Red Hat. Now what I'm asking the report to do is the same thing. Show me the keywords that both of these domains rank for. However, I only want them to show me the keywords that both of these domains rank on the first 2 pages for, the top 20 positions. That way I can get an idea as to what's really close for us. Where are they just beating us out, and where are we just beating them out, and what do we have to hold on to? So this is great. So for keyword searches like Amazon account logon, I don't know if they'll get to the top, but Red Hat ranks 16th and Zendesk ranks 12th. Here's a better one. Let's find something that they're both on the first page. Customer portal. Zendesk ranks 1st, whereas Red Hat ranks 9th. So if Red Hat wants that traffic, here's a keyword that they're really going to have to start out ranking Zendesk for, as you can tell in the report. So very good comparison with your competitors to know where you're sharing keywords, where they're besting you, and maybe where you're besting them. Another way you can leverage this report is to say unique to the first domains keywords, which means now I only want to see what Red Hat ranks for that Zendesk does not. Where do they have a particular competitive advantage over their competition for keywords that they don't have to worry about their particular competition? So here are keywords that just Red Hat ranks for that Zendesk does not. And you can always flip this report around and do the vice versa here and understand what keywords your competitors rank for that you do not rank for. Okay, so the gap analysis reports are found in their own section of SEMrush on the left side nav. Okay, we're going to jump to keyword analytics. So we'll start with the keyword analytics overview, and we'll stay on the topic of software for now while we're in keyword research. And then when I do our projects demo, I'm going to jump to a different topic, but I'll make sure to be clear on that. So keyword overview here. Let's do cloud software, and I'm just kind of picking a keyword in real time here. And if you want to just, okay, you decided I want to rank for that keyword, let's query in the keyword overview and get an idea of the landscape for this keyword. So it's searched about 880 times a month, not a ton. It's got a pretty high CPC. So if I was going to use this in Google AdWords, maybe I'd look for some alternatives there with that high competition and high cost per click. And you can see a few things now. On the overview, you'll see exactly who ranks in the top 20. So if you saw a low or a high keyword difficulty on a keyword, and you said, well, that looks like a keyword difficulty I can target. I wonder who already ranks for this keyword. You can always query that keyword in the keyword overview and move through the first 100 organic search results. Also on the right side, you'll see any live ads that are running for the keyword cloud software. So I'm going to jump to our phrase match report and then our keyword magic tool, which I think is our hands down best keyword research tool. The phrase match report I like, however, because it's going to give you the exact matches for cloud software. As you can see, my seed keyword here was cloud software. So this phrase match report will include only keywords that include cloud and software in the search. It doesn't have to be in any particular order. However, you might decide that cloud software is just too hard to rank for. I need alternatives. This can give you those alternatives and say, well, other than cloud software, cloud-based software is searched a little less often, but has a significantly lower keyword difficulty. So maybe you call your product cloud-based software instead of cloud software as a way to angle a little bit better with your competition. Okay, from this report, we are going to the keyword magic tool. The keyword magic tool is an independent keyword research database. It's in beta now. However, it's 3.8 million keywords. I'm sorry, 3.8 billion keywords in this database. So this will give you the most results. So let's stay on the topic of cloud software, and I'll show you how this tool will work a little differently than these other research tools. So now that I've searched cloud plus software again, the first thing you'll see is the total number of keywords that have the potential to show up in this report. There's 3,363 keywords. And then also, you may have searched best cloud software, and you could have done that. I just recommend not doing that instead of the seed keyword cloud software. Reason being is because on the left side here, what you're seeing is the keywords that are most commonly searched with your seed keyword of cloud software. So if I did best cloud software, I would have limited myself to just 219 results. But by staying a little bit broader here, I can see that management cloud software is common, best cloud software is common, and I can very easily then drill in to best cloud software and take a look at those 219 results, but without limiting myself simply to that group and cutting out things like computer or account, etc. That could also present some good opportunity for your optimization. So I like to take a broader approach with this tool and then drill in via this left navigation here. Also, really good filters here. The first one might be for content developers, somebody who might want to write a blog on cloud software or a tech blog, or maybe somebody who's running PPC ads and looking for high user intent. I love the questions tab. The questions tab will show you the questions that people are searching Google about cloud software. So there's not a ton of volume here in this particular example, but if you ever want to see, okay, enough with the keywords and what questions maybe have gone unanswered, what questions are people commonly searching? The funny one is, what time is the Super Bowl? It's searched about 20 million times yesterday. That was an exaggeration, but what time is the Super Bowl is the most popular question searched on Google on Super Bowl Sunday. So you can get an idea as to what keywords or what questions people are regularly asking Google and provide content or maybe add solutions for those particular keywords with high user intent. Also, good filters here. If you want long tail keywords, let's look for keywords, cloud-based keywords, cloud software keywords that are 4 words or more. You can select that words count filter, and now you're looking at only 4 phrases or more in the keyword search. Also, let's do 4 words or more and a cost per click of less than $1. Can we find any low-hanging fruit here? And here you have it. So low volume, but low CPC as well. Kind of looks like these keywords might be untapped a little bit. So you can always use this CPC filter. It looks like it was a strong filter for this group, but let's do $10 and we'll see what we get. And here you go. Here's some keywords with some average cost per click expectations as well. Last thing I'll show you here for mostly SEOs is to look at our SERP features report as well. In 2018, many SEOs are targeting instant answer opportunities on Google or featured snippets. If anybody is unsure of what that might be, a featured snippet or instant answer, let me know. I can always query in Google Quick to show you. But I love that feature as well. So let's look at only cloud software keywords that are eligible for a featured snippet when searched. And here you have it. So here are keywords that if you're targeting featured snippets specifically, this list is narrowed down exactly to that. Okay, I'm going to jump now to our projects tools. Now, forgive me, I'm getting off the topic of software. I don't have a project set up for Red Hat. So I'm going to show you simply a project that is already set up. Although we're switching topics, my goal here is to show you how these tools will essentially work for you and manage your own campaigns. So a project is a particular limit in SEMrush. So I'm going to quickly point that out. On the Pro plan, you have 5 projects. On our Guru plan, you have 50, and on our business level, 200 of these. A project is set up with a root domain. In this case, it would be redhat.com, if I was using Red Hat still, or campbellsoup.com would be one. And you would set up a project, and you would have a project's dashboard, which I'm about to show you. I just want to point out that across our Pro, Guru, and business subscription, this greatly varies, as well as how many keywords you can track with our position tracking tool, which I'm about to show you as well. So please, I do expect if you may have some questions about product limits and whatnot, please include those in the chat as well. Okay, these are a very important set of tools in SEMrush. So this is your project's dashboard. This is one single project, and here are the 12 tools that are available for this project. So the first is a site audit. A site audit is a technical crawl of your website to ensure that, forget about all the great blogging you did and all the fantastic backlinks you just built. If your website is functionally unsound, if there are links that are not working and providing a poor user experience, this is where you'll catch technical flaws on your site. So this crawler will go out and report errors, warnings, and notices. Errors are things that we think absolutely are impacting your SEO potential and probably your Google Analytics metrics like pages per visit, time on site, and bounce rates. Warnings are best practices. It's good to do these things. It's not mandatory. I don't think they'll knock you down a peg. And notices are, if they're more important, they'll move over. I would say don't sweat the notices, really. It's just to keep you abreast of things that you can potentially fix. However, again, not things that we think might be impacting your rankings. So errors, rather than go through each one, of course, it'll be different for each page. We have a long list of different errors that would populate in blue should these errors exist on your site, or green showing you that we checked these errors and they checked out. So that being said, let's look. 10 internal links are broken on this page. So what are those links? You can drill into the data. You can identify what these links are. You can, of course, test them. This is a robot. And we can see that, oh, this page definitely does not work. So what we're going to do is move on from this particular page, or fix it. Not move on, but fix it rather, so it provides a good user experience. Also, we have a position tracking tool. So the audit will, it's a great prospecting tool as well. So if you have a potential new client, it might be beneficial to run a site audit and get an idea as to what things you might be able to help them with. It'll provide you more information leading up to that prospecting call. And then if you retain that client in your marketing agency or services, you've already got that project set up. So it's a great prospecting tool as well. Keep that in mind. Then there's our position tracker. Our position tracker will track any keyword you want and report your rankings on it. It will also track for you up to 20 competitors as well. So you can keep track of how do my competitors rank versus how I rank for any keyword you want to search in any location you want to search it. So what do I mean by that? You can set up trackers for US English on desktop, New York state level on desktop I have set up. I also have New York set up on mobile. So I can compare my mobile rankings in New York versus my desktop rankings. Also, you can do city level too. Dallas is set up in here, Birmingham, Alabama. But do note, those are big cities. You can do really any zip code with a population of over 2,500 people. You'll find that that city is available within this tracker. So you can really get very granular with your tracking as well as track any keyword. It doesn't have to be in our database. You could input any custom keyword you want here to track. So that being said, you'll see what I'm doing here is tracking Campbell's versus All Recipes, Betty Crocker, and Food Network. And now I do have my rankings on February 5th versus each of my competition rankings, as well as how those rankings have changed over a custom selected time period. So Campbell's is moving up for this particular skillet chicken Parmesan recipe keyword. They are also ranking in the featured snippet. So notice here, we'll show you every SERP feature that the keyword is potentially eligible for, as well as the respective icon if that domain is satisfying any of those featured snippets. So notice Campbell's ranks first and satisfies the featured snippet. All Recipes ranks 35th and has a review. Okay, again, this will keep track for you of your rankings every single day. So it's a great reporting tool if you're managing clients. If you're managing your own domain, this will provide you the transparency you need to determine if your rankings are improving or declining. Okay, you have a rankings distribution page, which will break down your rankings by top 10, top 50, etc. Your landing pages report will show you every URL that's ranking for the respective keywords. Again, this project was set up on campbells.com. However, it'll show you each URL and the respective keywords that are ranking for that URL. You can also notice here the red ones are lost keywords that are no longer ranking. You can also tag keywords. Notice I have chicken tags, I have soup tags. That way, instead of always looking at 255 keywords, I could very easily filter by a particular tag and then see the results only for a product group. If you're selling products online, you might separate your electronics from your batteries, etc. And you can very easily do that with tags in this report. Okay, and then my favorite one here is actually the devices and locations report. So I will note on the guru level and above, you have multi-location tracking. On the pro level, unfortunately, you're going to have just one tracker per project. On the guru and above, you'll have up to 10. And with up to 10, you can do our devices and locations report. Okay, so on the devices and locations report, you'll see each location you set up compared as a side-by-side. And this can be pretty telling. What you'll notice right away here, or what I notice right away, is that my two mobile locations are showing the lowest visibility percentage scores, meaning that after we've looked at all of the keywords I'm tracking and all of their respective positions for each device or location, we're putting a score on each one to show you this particular one, 7.01, New York desktop, has the highest overall rankings of all of these keywords as compared to any of these other locations. The two lowest are my mobile trackers, New York mobile as well as United States mobile. And then when I recognize that, I can look in the data here and start to see those differences appear. So quick chicken Parmesan recipe. Notice Campbell Soup Company ranks first. Whenever that is searched on desktop, they rank first and they have the featured snippet. If you're in your kitchen on your cell phone and you query that same keyword, Campbell's will not show up. So that's a big opportunity there to say, oh no, we're not ranking on mobile. And with this report, you can identify where those gaps exist and then quickly pivot your optimization and make sure you address those things. Okay, I do have a question. Gaurav asked, I am new to SEMrush. I have a pro plan. How many competitor websites can I add and compare? So on the pro plan, Gaurav, you'll have 5 trackers you can set up across 5 different projects. And on each project, you'd be able to set up on the pro plan a single location. With that single location, you can track against up to 20 competitors for the keywords you want to track. Okay, a couple more projects tools here, and then I'll make sure you guys have all the learning resources you need to be successful with our product. So this is our social media tracker. You can track any social platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, LinkedIn, for any competitors you want. All we need is access to Facebook for you, and we'll go out and crawl the data you're looking for. So in this case of Campbell's, they'd probably want to check social media for Progresso, allrecipes.com, Food Network, and here on the overview report, you can quickly answer your question. Which competitors do I need to track on social? Some may not do it very well, and you may decide that they don't really need to track them. In other cases, you may say, wow, Food Network is very active on social media. So they have a huge audience, they have a ton of activity, and they have the highest engagement as well. So it's Food Network here that can obviously teach me something. So what we can do is jump into Facebook and say, well, I want to see what Food Network does on Facebook over the last, let's do 60 days. And here's all of their top content. So here's the content that hit kind of the home run with Food Network over the past 60 days. Looks like there's some eggs there. Now, I will admit that food is a bit easier on social media than most of your professions. But here's all the cool different things they did on social media that garnered a lot of attention. We're tracking engagement rates, total reactions, shares, etc. And you can compare these against that of your own content to see if your competitors may offer you some insights as to how to do social. Also, the audience report. Again, if you're a marketing consultant or a marketing agency, good reporting metrics here. if I just took over your social media over the last 60 days, I'd be happy to show you that we've increased your page likes by at least 3% here, and garnered over 832,000 new visitors or new page likes. So good reporting metrics. With our My Report Builder, these are literally drag and drop widgets. If you want to show me how many page likes I've picked up and what percentage growth that is, you're just dragging and dropping these widgets into a custom branded PDF report that could be white labeled. So let me quickly explain that. Our reports, so our reports being, if I PDF this report, you can grab any data from SEMrush and build a custom report, or you can oftentimes very easily grab a particular PDF. And let's go ahead and brand this report. Looks like I have that one up now. Let me change it. Let's do an SEMrush report in this regard. And now I can export this data to a PDF to share with my client. I will note that on the pro level, you're limited simply to non-branded reporting, meaning the reports will show this SEMrush branding in which you see here. On the guru level, you can do any branding you want. So all these SEMrush instances would be your clients or your own brand. And on the business level, this report is fully white labeled with no reference to data being taken from SEMrush. So if I wanted that social media report, it's as easy as clicking a PDF button and I've got it, and I can share this report with my client in a matter of minutes. Okay, there's a social media poster as well. But before I do that, I actually wanted to show the activity report too. I think there's an interesting insight here. So on this activity report, you can see 734 posts over the last 60 days. So that's up about 51 posts over the previous 60-day period. So I'd be excited to show my new client that as well, that we've increased output as well as grown posts by 7.5%. So that's great. And what we see here is with a large enough sample size, I wouldn't advise using this insight here with 20 posts. But since I've got 734 different posts now, I can learn a little bit about the output of foodnetwork.com. One thing I see is that on the days of week when posts are published, Food Network is pretty consistent, especially Monday through Friday, pretty consistent, and then they ramp down their content just a little bit on the weekends. However, days of the week when people engage with their content varies a little bit as compared to the days of the week in which they post. So if you notice that your highest engagement is on Saturday, but your lowest output is also on Saturday, right away you can see that and say, you know what, let me put more content out when my consumers are engaging with it, and less content here on Sunday when engagement seems to really ramp down. All right, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, they're all in this tool. Let's jump to the social media poster. Very quickly, the social media poster, and I see some questions coming through, I will answer these. The social media poster is going to post for you on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter at this time. It can schedule content in Instagram and send you a reminder that you want that content to go out. But unfortunately, I'm not sure that there's any tool, and I could be wrong, but I'm not sure any tool right now is actually aligned to auto post on Instagram. But in this tool, you can schedule content for Instagram and receive a reminder. So how much time does it take for data to reflect on SEMrush? For example, if I add a new post or new backlinks today on my website, then when can I see it on SEMrush? So that would depend on what tools you're using, Gaurav, and I'll gladly probably sync up with you on the side after the webinar to answer this more specifically. Our domain analytics tools are based on our keyword updates. And when we go out with our backlink crawlers and crawl these sites, new data will populate as we collect it in real time. And that doesn't really answer your question. Additionally, if you're using projects tools, your projects tools that I'm going through now in the webinar, these tools will update every day for you. So anytime, Food Network posts yesterday, you should go in the tool today and see that there's new content available to you. I hope that answers your questions, but I will sync up with you personally to make sure that that's clear. Okay, social media posters. So I can't post on behalf of Campbell's here because in this tool, you can't just connect any page you want. That wouldn't quite work. But I could connect anything I have Facebook or LinkedIn admin access to. So if I wanted to post here on behalf of Patriot Home Pros, my brother's construction company, I can very easily say, you know what, we're doing free estimates all week, and I can post this right now. And I used to do that, but then I forgot to take it down, and my brother would call me angrily. So I could post right now, but I'm going to pass this time. Also, I can schedule this post instead. And I like scheduling posts because it will tell you when your fans are online. So I can align this scheduling with my audience as well. Or I can just simply add this to the queue. And let's do that because I won't post it. So here at the queue, if I did nothing, tomorrow at 4 p.m., it looks like this is going to post on Facebook. So I'm probably going to delete this now just so I don't do so. Or what I could have done is cloned it as well. So your upcoming queue will show here for any content you've got upcoming on social. Also, anything you've published will record So you can get an idea as to, okay, of the things I've published, what has been the most successful. So let's go back 90 days and see which content has really done the best on Facebook. And then what we can do here is also see some analytics too. So we'll start tracking this data for you and get an idea as to how you're increasing your page audience, your page likes, etc. Metrics look pretty good here for Patreon Home Pros right now. So that's good. And also then remember, we can schedule in advance for Instagram. Okay, jumping to the backlink audit tool. I know that this is a long webinar, folks. Thank you for joining me today. And again, I know I cover like way too much data for one sitting. So we do have recordings of this webinar. And again, I will connect with anybody on the webinar today and make sure that SEMrush works for you and your goals. This is just meant to show you all encompassing how much of a jack of all trades this software can be. So on the backlink audit here, this will audit all your referring domains. And, you know, I was talking before about trust score and domain quality and, you know, having good domains linking to you. If John Spammy Directory is the only place sending you backlinks, it's probably going to have a negative impact on your rankings. So this audit will look for websites like johnspammydirectory.com and point out to you that you might not want to continue to associate with these links. So what I mean by not associating with these links could mean a couple different things: to remove links or to disavow them. So what this audit will do is show you the highest toxic scores first, meaning that these are going to be domains that we're not quite sure of. This one is a de-indexed domain with low domain power. We also see mirror pages of this domain, meaning that there are a lot of pages online that look exactly like it. That is definitely of concern. And we might decide, okay, we don't want to keep this link. We want to remove it or we want to disavow it. So you have an option there as to where you want to put it. To remove backlinks means to, you know, draft a template and say, hey, take my backlink off your website. It doesn't belong there. Oftentimes people will not answer you, or they will ask for money to remove links. So it could be a tedious process. So removing backlinks, we're looking to make it easier by integrating your mailbox for you with this tool. And then that way I can go one by one and say, hey, you at digitality.ie, if we can find an outreach email for you, we will provide it. Like on list of domains, we can see these different emails in which we can send to and say, hey, I'm going to use this template here and say, please take my backlinks off your site. You can also write your own template to use and then go one by one here and send that outreach to everybody with your Search Console integration. This tool, not your Search Console integration, your Gmail integration. This tool will also connect with your Google Search Console, your Google Analytics account, and Majestic. If you pay for Majestic to use link building, it will integrate and audit Majestic links as well. Okay, and then there's our link building tool. I love this new tool. You put the 10 keywords here that you want to improve your rankings for, as well as some competition, and we'll provide you great places to potentially pursue high quality backlinks. So for Campbell's here, I actually got 3,800. Here's a good example of, you know, we're not just choosing any site, oh, get a backlinks from these guys, get a backlink from these guys. We're targeting high quality domains, usually in the top 60% or so. Also in this case, we see, this report is about Campbell's Soup and probably doesn't have a backlink. So that's, of course, why we're calling that one out. That's already saying their brand name. And here are a bunch of other places where we suggest you get backlinks from. Now, I can reach out to this website and say, I want to do a manual link. I want to do a directory catalog listing. I want you to add a link to the article you're writing about me on. Product review, guest blog, whatever it might be, the template will garner differently. So now that I've checked, I want to do a guest post for that particular site, it'll move into my in progress folder. And again, I'm going to connect my mailbox and I'm going to reach out. And I'm going to ask this person whether it's this type of post or I'm looking for this type of backlink. I can just change that. I can save a new template for each of these types of outreaches. And then what I can do is go one by one and quickly send these emails out to these respective places to ask for link building opportunities. So again, could really streamline your link building efforts, which are such an important part of SEO and such a, you know, one of the more difficult parts of SEO. So this link building tool can save you a lot of time and expose you to some different resources that maybe you haven't thought of. I do see a question that says, which one should I use, Google Disavow or SEMrush Disavow? SEMrush will not disavow those links for you. I should have been more clear. It creates a disavow list in which you can upload to Google Search Console. So I'm going to backtrack, folks, just 1 second. That was I should have pointed that out. To disavow links is to not remove them. Google will likely not remove the links. However, I call it doing your due diligence and saying, hey, Google, these are sites that I really don't want to be associated with. You know, please don't penalize me if you're going to penalize them. I call it doing your due diligence and just reporting these links to Google. So SEMrush doesn't disavow the links for you. It creates the list in which you can upload to the Google disavow tool. And then once you've done that, you can confirm that with SEMrush. We'll exclude them from your future audits and then mark them as disavowed within the software. Okay. Here's the ads builder tool, and then we'll wrap up here. The ads builder tool will allow you to build ads that you like of your competitors. So it leverages that really cool ads copies report I showed you earlier. So let's just circle back to the software development topic and do redhat.com. And if I wanted to make ads like Red Hat, I saw that they were extremely effective. They've been using them forever. Just query Red Hat in here and you'll show that ads history report again. I'm sorry, that ads copies report that will show you all their ads. The best part here is that bingo, now you can just use it as a template. And you're not Red Hat, but maybe you're Software Cloud Innovations, and bingo, you're making your own ad for Software Cloud Innovations just like that. So you kind of use the same structure that you've seen your competition be successful with, but you add your own keywords, and here you are, you've got an ad built. You can use our PPC keyword tool to assign keywords to it, and you can export that data and upload it right to your Google AdWords wizard. So again, to go back to my question that I got at the very beginning of the webinar is, do I need to be full-time to use SEMrush? Do I have to have a full-time employee? If you have a full-time marketing effort, SEMrush could essentially give you more in that marketing effort by saving you time on mistakes, giving you actionable insights, and giving you the transparency you need to realize if your work is paying off or if you need to do different type of work. So can couple very well with your marketing strategy. I will note that SEMrush attendees, new attendees, or existing monthly users are offered a 20% discount on our annual plan. With our annual plans, you do also get an account manager who will ensure you're successful with this very robust software. So Gaurav, you mentioned you may be on a monthly plan. With an annual plan, you can also get an account manager and partner with that account manager anytime you need help with the tool, as well as a 20% discount. So please, folks, I do ask that if you're interested in following up today and training more, getting a more personalized experience. I was having trouble with our YouTube feed earlier today, so I asked, I may not be able to pull my attendee report to follow up with each of you, which I would so gladly like to do. So just in case I can't do that, I have just included my email in the chat box so that if you just want to shoot me a quick note and say, hey, follow up, that way I'll know you were on my webinar. I can offer you this promotional webinar discount, as well as make sure you're getting trained and onboarding with our product. So that being said, my email is in the chat box. And please, if I do have trouble pulling this attendee report, I ask that if necessary, if you want to talk more about SEMrush, just shoot me a quick note and we can schedule a more personalized experience for you. Otherwise, with the software, the Help tab. The Help tab is your knowledge base. It's all internal. It's your search engine for SEMrush. So let's just say John skipped the PPC keyword tool. What is that tool? I need to learn about it. You can search it. And by doing so, searching the PPC keyword tool, you'll see all of our category, which will include our manuals, our YouTube videos, any frequently asked questions, or very particular user manuals for those tools. So the Help tab is really good for learning SEMrush tools. The blog is really good for practicing these topics, right? You found insights in SEMrush, but now you have to really learn how to build backlinks, right? So you can come in here on the blog and say, well, let's do link building topics. And by searching link building in the blog, this talks about oftentimes how we garner data from SEMrush, but it's more about how we practice link building in the real world and can be very beneficial and help you understand, okay, now that I've got these insights, how do I best strategically leverage link building for my startup? And here's a great read on how to potentially do that. So on our blog is always great content. As if you're new to SEO or you're SEM and you need some learning resources, the SEMrush blog is a fantastic place. Just search whatever topic you're looking for, and you'll notice, the data again will cut down to those specific groups. So again, thank you for joining SEMrush. I hope that I could get in touch with all of you after I get this attendee report. If I do not, my email, john.garcia@SEMrush, is included in the chat. Feel free to reach out for me for a free trial of our software, a 20% discount on any of our annual subscriptions, or if you simply want to ask some more questions or need a follow-up from this webinar today, I would be happy to assist. One more question before we go. How can we check in SEMrush that a backlink is spammy and should it be disavowed? So back to that backlink audit tool is the audit score, the toxic score. on each of your particular links. So we do audit each referring domain. And then we put a toxic score on each link to tell you whether or not we think it's spammy. If the toxic score is close to 100, it's bad. If it's over 60, we flag it as potentially toxic. Under 60, we kind of let it go. But that's a bot, right? And we're looking for specific characteristics. You might know why what we consider a very spammy link. Well, maybe that website is your neighbor across the street from your own business, and that's why you have a link. And you know it's a legitimate website, and you're fine. But otherwise, there could be bad websites that are set up for this reason, and Google does penalize them, and they don't want to see them linking to sites. So again, back in the the backlink audit, there's a toxic score on the audit that will show you 0 to 100, what's the score and why, and we'll tell you what indicators made us increase our toxic score on this link. So you can do that right in the backlink audit tool. Okay, if there's any more questions, I'll stick around and make sure no other questions come through. Otherwise, thank you very much for your participation today in the webinar. You can reach me at john.carcia, C-A-R-S-I-A, at SEMrush.com. And barring I can grab this attendee report, I will reach out and thank you all for being a part of today's webinar. We can get you started on a free trial or a 20% discount on our annual plans. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining. And please reach out if you have further or more specific questions about SEMrush. Have a great day, everybody. And go Seahawks next year. Thanks a lot. Take care.